survival kits. Let's talk about it. All right, guys. So now that we're changed a little bit, right? Don't be confused. This is a survival kit, right? This is not a bug out bag. Two huge differences. All right. So I'm going to walk you through what I take with me when I hike. Okay. This is pretty much it. Look, bug out bag. That's when ish hits the fan and you got to leave your immediate area for a prolonged time, premeditated long time. Okay. This is something where you had to get out of Dodge. You grab a bag that should already be packed, by the way, and regularly maintained. And then you hit the road, get out of the area as fast as possible. And you have prepared enough survival options, survival things to sustain you for at least 72 hours on the run, on the go, what have you. This right here, what I'm walking you through today, would be my survival kit. This is my grab my pack and let's go for a hike. So I'll tell you the reason why I'm showing you these specific items in my hiking list. When I go hiking, I try to think of where I'm going beforehand. And these are kind of the things that always sort of stay in my pack. Different areas, different campgrounds, different trails require you to pack different things. It's not a one and done, right? But these are things that always seem to make their way back into my pack. Okay. So one, flashlight with, now this is pretty cool. I'll have the link for this in the Amazon store. This is a flashlight. It's like 3,200 lumens, but it also serves as a power bank. So in case you run out of charge on your phone, right? This is a good multitask, multi-purpose tool. All right. Has 3 different settings and a strobe light setting as well. So, in case you're lost in the woods, boom. All right. Paracord, always bring just paracord, not necessarily paracord bracelet. Okay. This is from our Homestead Project donation. Okay. $20 or more. I make you one of these guys. Boom. Done. Obviously you want to pack enough water for your hike. What I would say, the one thing that I don't have here in this current pack is a life water straw, which is a water filtration device. Like you just put it, you grab some water, you fill your canteen, right, of water, and you use that. You use the straw, drink that. It already comes pre-packed as a filtrated canister, and you just drink the water through that, and it takes away a ton of the nasty stuff that's in the water. Okay, another thing that I do have is a little knife for like little foliage, in case I have to go off the beaten path. Never recommended, right? At least when you're hiking an area that's unknown. Sometimes you get that exploring bug and you want to go off the trail, which I highly recommend, but only if you're ready for it. Okay. So we did this. Hatchet. I have a little camping hatchet, just because in case I want to either harvest around for some wood for a lean-to, just in case I get lost. This is easier. You have the kits that have the pocket chainsaw. Realistically, guys, it's come on. You're wasting a bunch of energy. We have tools to make things a little bit easier, right? Instead of a pocket chainsaw. So I don't know. I like to be prepared, almost overly prepared, right? I don't want to be around a 1-inch freaking stick sticking out of the ground and using my pocket chainsaw, expending the calories that I would probably need just to get a branch down. Not doing that. I do have your latex gloves, just in case you get nicked, scratched. Listen, you got to kind of prepare for, let's say, worst case scenario, you slip, fall, hurt yourself, or let's say immobilized, right? That's what I always think in a hike. You want to bring the correct hiking shoe, the hiking boot with with your ankle support, right? Maybe a high boot, high hiking boot, so you don't roll your ankle. All right. So on top of that, nice little Happy Explorer. But you know what though? I'm not going to go full triage, like EMT hike, first aid kit. This is just your run-of-the-mill first aid kit. All right. In it, you have a bunch of bandages, gauze, straps, instant cold compresses, alcohol pads, all that stuff that you would want in a mid-tier first aid kit, right? This right here treats cuts, scrapes, minor burns, the stuff you get hiking, right? You're not fixing a splint to your broken leg, but you could with some of this and a couple branches. Yeah, you can make a splint if you had to, and if you are in dire need, that's where this comes in handy, right? You cut the appropriate size sticks down to make said splint. Okay, with that being said, the last thing is we do have fire starters. The little fire starter on a 550 cord. You do definitely want to have that. I also have a lighter. Guys, just pack a lighter. We have the technology. Just put a little Bic lighter in. They're super cheap. What I do is I put them in the Ziploc bags, and I carry a bunch of Ziploc bags with me, like the big ones. So that way, in case it starts raining, I can put my phone in a Ziploc bag, kind of extra waterproofing. Okay. And also here on the East Coast, I don't know where it is where you guys are, but always what happens is bug spray. Just always have bug spray. All right. Always. You don't want to be eaten to death if you're lost. Now, this came with a couple things. Remember the video? So this came with a couple things that I don't have here, right? Let's say whistles. If you want to whistle, okay, they're pretty cheap. I don't know. I don't plan on whistling to anyone, at anyone, or for anyone when I'm hiking. You could scoop up a whistle, I guess. I'm not whistling. I have my phone. I have charging bank here. I'm good. I have different ways of signaling. This is just my hiking kit, guys. Water, knife, hatchet, flashlight, paracord, first aid kit, lighter, okay, and fire starter things. You have a lighter, you have your alcohol pads within the kit, within your first aid kit that you can use to start a fire. And depending on where you're hiking, when you're hiking, you can usually find stuff that is ignitable. And plus, you could always use this as a little mini flamethrower to start your fire. Guys, this is a pretty simplistic video, but very important. You guys asked for this. What would I go hiking with, right? This is my hiking pack. All of this stuff can fit, and it's not that heavy. The heaviest thing would be your water. Over here on the East Coast, water is plentiful. So this is kind of overboard. This is a lot. I would probably bring three bottles of water, right? And some energy bars. That's what's not in this pack right now. That's what you're not seeing. And the life straw is what I don't have in this with my gear right here. So that's my pack, guys. This stuff is what I would take to go hiking. Not camping, just hiking. Okay? And always just know the trails you're hiking before you go. Know the area you're hiking before you go hiking. Kind of prepare. And then you have your base stuff here that you just have in the pack, and you can just go ahead and throw this pack in your car, truck, whatever, and you're good to go. So there you have it, guys. That's the Arias hiking pack. I don't want to call it a survival kit. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to call it a survival kit. And I'm not going to call it a bug out bag either. We'll get to a bug out bag in a different video. But anyway, guys, thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for rocking with the channel. Remember, guys, our Homestead Project, for donations over $20, I will make you a paracord bracelet, send it right to you, kind of as a thank you from me to you guys. You can find this stuff, these kits, remember, these kits that we reviewed over on the Amazon store. The link will be in the description. And yeah, guys, make sure you stay alive. Make sure you survive out there. All right, guys, unplug and do something legendary. I'll see you all in the next video. Later, guys.